Have you been experiencing strange, unexplainable changes in your body? Do you feel more tired than usual, yet oddly energized at the same time? Have your eating habits shifted without warning? Do you feel sensations in your body that you can't quite explain, tingling, warmth, pressure, or even waves of energy moving through you? If so, you are not alone. These changes are not random, and they are certainly not a coincidence. You are awakening. When God chooses you for a higher calling, every part of your being, mind, spirit, and even your physical body begins to shift. Your body is recalibrating, adjusting to a higher frequency, aligning with the divine purpose that has been set before you. But if you don't understand what's happening, it can feel overwhelming. It can feel like something is wrong when, in reality, everything is finally becoming right. Many chosen ones go through this process in silence, thinking they are the only ones facing these changes. Some feel isolated because they can't talk about it with others after all. How do you explain feeling energy coursing through your hands or waking up at exactly 3 a.m. every night without reason? How do you explain suddenly losing interest in foods you used to love or feeling drained in places that never bothered you before? These are not ordinary experiences. These are signs that you are stepping into a higher realm of consciousness. Your body is shedding the old, preparing you for something greater. The discomfort, the exhaustion, the intense emotions, they are all part of the process. You are being transformed, refined, and made ready for your divine assignment. Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trial when it comes upon you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you. 1 Peter 4:12. God is taking you through this process because He needs you to be strong, not just in spirit, but in body. Your temple, this vessel you've been given, must be ready to hold the power, the wisdom, and the anointing He is placing upon you. That is why so many chosen ones experience drastic changes during their spiritual awakening. In this message, we will uncover the mysterious physical changes that often accompany spiritual elevation. We will explore why your body is reacting the way it is, what these signs mean, and how to navigate this transformation with faith and understanding. By the end, you will realize that these changes are not happening to you, but for you. Every shift, every sensation, every unexplained occurrence is part of God's divine plan, guiding you toward your highest purpose. This is not the end of something, it is the beginning of something far greater. Let's begin. One of the first major changes chosen ones experience during their spiritual awakening is an increased sensitivity to energy. Suddenly, you start feeling things more deeply, not just emotions, but the very presence of energy around you. The places you used to go, the people you used to be around, and even the conversations you used to have now seem overwhelming. It's as if the world has become louder, heavier, and more intense. At first, this shift can feel confusing. You may find yourself drained after social interactions that never used to bother you. Certain environments, especially crowded spaces or places filled with negativity, become unbearable. You may start avoiding people who constantly gossip, complain, or carry heavy emotional baggage, even if they were once close to you. Why is this happening? Because your spirit is elevating, and your body is now responding to the vibrations around you. The closer you get to God, the more your soul rejects anything that does not align with His presence. You are no longer just physically in this world, you are spiritually attuned to something much greater. Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. 1 John 4:1. Your discernment is awakening. You can feel people's true intentions before they even speak. You may sense deception, even when someone's words sound sweet. You start picking up on unspoken emotions, the sadness behind someone's smile, the anger hiding beneath polite words, the envy disguised as support. You are no longer blind to the unseen realm. This newfound sensitivity may also extend to objects, music, and even food. Certain sounds may become intolerable. Violent or disturbing content on television may feel unbearable to watch. The things that once entertained you may now seem meaningless or even repulsive. Your spirit is rejecting anything that does not serve your growth. Many chosen ones struggle with this phase because it can feel isolating. You may wonder why you suddenly feel so different. Why the things you once enjoyed no longer bring joy. But understand this is not a burden, it is a blessing. God is sharpening your spiritual vision, fine-tuning your awareness, and protecting you from hidden dangers. So what should you do? Protect your energy. Be intentional about where you go, who you spend time with, and what you allow into your spirit. Spend more time in nature, in prayer, in solitude where the presence of God is strongest. Surround yourself with things that elevate you, not drain you. The world may call you sensitive, but the truth is, you are divinely attuned. The things that once blended into the background are now revealed to you. Because you are no longer walking in the darkness, you are walking in the light. This is only the beginning. Your body, mind, and soul are shifting, preparing you for the next level of your spiritual journey. And as you continue to grow, these changes will only become more profound. As your spiritual awakening unfolds, something powerful begins to happen not just in your mind and soul, but in your physical body. You may start experiencing strange, unexplainable sensations, tingling, pressure, warmth, or even waves of energy coursing through your body. Some of these changes may feel exciting, others may feel uncomfortable or even overwhelming. But here's what you must understand: these changes are not random. They are proof that your body is aligning with your divine purpose. God never calls someone to a higher path without first preparing them for it. And part of that preparation is reconfiguring your physical vessel to handle the new level of spiritual energy you are about to carry. Think of it like upgrading a container if you are meant to hold more wisdom, more power, and more divine revelation. Your body must be capable of holding it all without breaking under the pressure. This is why many chosen ones go through periods of physical transformation, not just emotional or spiritual ones. The higher your calling, the greater the purification process. Energy surges and sensory shifts. One of the most common signs of spiritual transformation is energy, movement in your body. You may feel tingling in your hands, feet, or spine as if electricity is running through you. You might notice heat building up in your palms or forehead, almost like an unseen force is activating something within you. Some people wake up in the middle of the night, especially around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. with an overwhelming sense of presence, as if God is directly calling them to wake up. This is often called the divine hour, a time when the veil between the physical and spiritual realms is at its thinnest. You are being pulled toward deep connection, toward prayer, toward receiving divine messages. Even your senses may change. Light may seem brighter, sounds may become sharper, even overwhelming. Your sense of smell or taste may shift, making you crave certain foods while rejecting others. Why? Because your body is now attuned to a higher frequency. Things that once seemed normal may now feel too much because your system is no longer vibrating at the same level as before. Appetite and body detox. Another major shift happens in your appetite. Foods you once craved may now feel heavy or unappealing. Many chosen ones find themselves naturally drawn toward lighter, healthier foods, more water, more fruits, more plant-based meals because the body is trying to purify itself. You may also go through detox symptoms, sudden fatigue, feeling exhausted even after rest, headaches or body aches, as old energy is released. Digestive shifts. Your gut is adjusting to new frequencies. These symptoms can feel frustrating, but do not resist the process. Your body is working hard to eliminate toxins not just physically, but spiritually as well. Periods of extreme exhaustion. One of the hardest parts of this transformation is the deep exhaustion that often comes with it. You may feel drained, sluggish, or even like you're carrying extra weight, even though nothing has physically changed. This is because your body is doing spiritual work that requires immense energy. Think of it like downloading a massive software update on your phone. During the update, the device may slow down or even shut off completely to process the changes. But once the update is complete, everything runs smoother, faster, and more efficiently. Your body is doing the same thing. Vibrational upgrades and physical alignment, you are shifting into a new level of existence. Your DNA is waking up. Your cells are adjusting to carry more light, more wisdom, and more divine power. This is why your body feels different. It is literally being transformed. Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? 1 Corinthians 6:19. This process is sacred. It is preparing you to step fully into your divine calling. So instead of fighting the exhaustion, embrace it. Rest when needed. Hydrate, meditate, spend time in nature. Listen to what your body is telling you. The discomfort is temporary, but the transformation will last a lifetime. This is not just a phase, it is a rebirth. And when you come out on the other side, you will not be the same person you were before. As your body undergoes transformation, your mind and emotions will also experience deep shifts. Many chosen ones find themselves going through a period of intense emotional purging, where old wounds, past traumas, and unresolved fears suddenly rise to the surface. You may feel overwhelmed by emotions you thought you had already healed from. Sadness, anger, anxiety, even moments of deep loneliness, all of it may flood into your consciousness without warning. This is not a setback. This is your soul cleansing itself, making space for something greater, letting go of old patterns for years. You have carried certain beliefs, habits, and attachments that no longer serve your higher purpose. Maybe you were raised to believe you weren't enough. Maybe you stayed in relationships or friendships that drained you because you feared being alone. Maybe you played small, suppressing your true self to make others comfortable. But now, as you awaken, these old patterns can no longer remain. Your soul is demanding a higher level of truth, a greater level of authenticity. This means you will lose interest in meaningless conversations and shallow relationships. You will feel called to distance yourself from people who drain your energy. You will become highly aware of negative thought patterns and start breaking free from them. This purging process can feel painful because it often requires letting go of the familiar. But remember, you cannot step into your destiny while still holding on to the chains of your past. Increased sensitivity to energy. As your spirit ascends, your ability to sense energy and truth will become much sharper. You may suddenly start noticing when someone's words don't match their energy. You might walk into a room and immediately sense the hidden emotions of the people there. This is your spiritual discernment awakening. Your intuition will strengthen. Your ability to sense danger, deception, or hidden agendas will increase. You will no longer be able to tolerate lies or manipulation because your soul now demands truth. This can make it difficult to be around certain people. You may start feeling uneasy around friends, family members, or even co-workers who carry negative energy, not because you hate them, but because your spirit no longer resonates with them. You are ascending, and not everyone is meant to go with you. Periods of isolation and deep reflection. Many chosen ones experience a season of isolation during this transformation. You may feel like withdrawing from social activities, spending more time alone, and craving silence. This is not depression, this is divine separation. God is pulling you away from distractions so that you can hear His voice more clearly. In the stillness, you will receive insights, wisdom, and direction that you couldn't access before. Embrace this solitude, because it is in these moments that your greatest breakthroughs will come. Dark nights of the soul. Facing your deepest fears, there may be moments where you feel like everything is crumbling. Doubt, fear, and uncertainty may creep in, making you question your entire path. You might wonder, why is this happening to me? Why does this process feel so hard? This is called the dark night of the soul. It is a period of deep transformation where everything that is false within you is being burned away. God is stripping away what no longer serves you so that He can rebuild you stronger. We also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, character, and character. Hope Romans 5:3-4. If you find yourself in this season, hold on. It is temporary. The fire is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to refine you. Embracing the new you as you release old wounds. Break free from toxic patterns and realign with your divine truth. Something incredible happens. You step into a new version of yourself. You will no longer feel the need to chase approval or validation from others. You will find deep inner peace. Even in the middle of chaos, you will recognize your worth, your power, and your purpose like never before. This is the purification process. It is not easy, but it is necessary, because only after you have been emptied of everything false can you be filled with divine truth. So if you are experiencing this deep emotional and mental shift, trust the process. God is not punishing you, He is preparing you. You are being shaped, molded, and strengthened for the divine purpose that awaits you. And when you emerge from this transformation, you will not be the same. You will be unshakable. After the purification, after the breaking, after the fire, you emerge reborn, no longer the same person you once were, no longer bound by the limitations that once held you back. You have been reshaped, redefined, and realigned with your divine destiny. But what happens now? How do you fully embrace this transformation and walk confidently in the new power and wisdom you've gained? 1. Living in alignment with your higher self. Now that you have awakened, you cannot go back to your old ways. The habits, relationships, and distractions that once filled your life will no longer satisfy you. You will crave truth, depth, and divine connection like never before. This is because you are no longer operating at the same frequency as before. Your spirit, mind, and body are now aligned with a higher purpose. That means your actions must match your new awareness. No more engaging in things that drain your energy or pull you away from your divine mission. Your relationships must reflect your growth. Some people will no longer align with you, and that's okay. Let go of what no longer serves you. Your daily habits must nourish your spirit. This means prayer, meditation, time in nature, and seeking wisdom from divine sources. You are not the same, and so your life must reflect that change. 2. The call to lead and guide others. One of the biggest realizations that comes after a spiritual awakening is that your transformation was never just about you. You were shaped, tested, and refined so that you could become a light for others who are still trapped in darkness. Many chosen ones find themselves naturally stepping into leadership roles. You may feel called to speak truth even when others don't want to hear it. Guide and mentor those who are struggling. Use your wisdom to uplift and inspire others. This does not mean you have to become a preacher, a teacher, or a speaker. Your presence alone is a testimony. The way you carry yourself, the peace you radiate, the wisdom you share, all of it will naturally draw people toward you. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. Facing resistance from the world the moment you fully embrace your divine calling. Expect resistance. The world is not kind to those who walk in truth. The forces that once kept you bound will try to pull you back. Some people will question you, criticize you, or even turn against you. But this is part of the journey. Every chosen one must face opposition. Some will call you to different or too intense. Some will accuse you of thinking you're better than them. Some will even try to tempt you back into old patterns. This is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's confirmation that you're on the right one. Do not shrink yourself to fit into spaces that no longer align with your spirit. You were called to stand out, not blend in. 4. Walking in unshakable faith now. More than ever, you must trust God's plan over your own understanding. There will be times when things don't make sense. There will be moments of uncertainty. But your faith must be stronger than your fears. Walk boldly, even when the path is unclear. Trust that every delay, every challenge, every test is part of your preparation. Believe that what God has for you is greater than anything you could ever imagine. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5-7. Your journey is not over. In fact, it is just beginning. The old you has been stripped away, and the true you, the powerful, awakened, chosen you has fully emerged. 5. Fully embracing your divine mission now. It is time to walk boldly in your truth. Time to release fear, self-doubt, and hesitation. Time to step fully into the purpose you were created for. You were not chosen by accident. You were set apart for a reason. Your transformation was never just about you, it was about the lives you are meant to impact. So go forward, shine your light, stand in your power, because you, chosen one, are finally ready. As you stand at this new threshold of your life, you may feel a mix of excitement and uncertainty. You have shed your old self, stepped into alignment with your divine purpose, and begun to see the world through a completely different lens. But now comes the greatest challenge: walking this path without fear, without hesitation, and without looking back. 1. Letting go of the need for approval. One of the biggest struggles chosen ones face after spiritual awakening is the realization that not everyone will understand your journey. Some people in your life, friends, family, even those you once looked up to, will not recognize or accept the transformation that has taken place within you. They may doubt your experiences. They may question your decisions. Some may even distance themselves from you or try to pull you back into your old ways. This is not a reflection of your failure, it is proof of your growth. When you evolve, not everyone will evolve with you, and that is okay. Your mission is not to convince people of your truth, but to live it. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. You were not chosen to fit in. You were chosen to stand out, to lead, and to walk a path that few have the courage to take. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. Have you experienced people pulling away as you stepped into your true calling? I'd love to hear your thoughts. 2. Understanding that challenges are a part of the calling. Just because you have awakened does not mean your journey will be easy. In fact, in many ways, the tests will become even greater. But now, you will have the wisdom, strength, and spiritual armor to face them. People may misunderstand you. Obstacles may arise that test your faith. There will be days when you feel isolated, wondering if you are truly on the right path. But through every challenge, remember this: you are not alone. Every chosen one who has walked this path before you has faced these same trials. These tests are not meant to break you, they are meant to shape you. Just like gold is purified through fire, you are being refined. Every hardship, every battle, and every sacrifice is preparing you for something greater. If you've ever felt like life keeps testing you over and over, drop A in the comments. I want to know how many of you have felt this. 3. Trusting divine timing. One of the greatest lessons chosen ones must learn is trusting God's timing over their own desires. There may be dreams in your heart that seem delayed. You may wonder why certain things haven't happened yet, why doors haven't opened, or why you still feel like you're in a season of waiting. But know this: nothing is being withheld from you. Everything is happening exactly as it should. You are being prepared for what is meant for you. If something hasn't come yet, it's because God is making sure you are truly ready for it. If a door closed, it's because it was not meant for you. If things seem slow, it's because your foundation is still being built. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Habakkuk 2:3. Let go of the anxiety of when and how. Walk in faith, knowing that what is meant for you cannot be taken from you. If you're in a season of waiting, type "I trust God's timing" in the comments below. 4. Walking forward with power and confidence now that you know who you are and why you were chosen. It is time to walk forward without fear. No more doubting yourself. No more waiting for permission. No more shrinking to make others comfortable. You are here for a reason. You have a divine mission. And every experience, every challenge, and every lesson has been leading you to this moment. So stand tall, step boldly into the unknown, speak truth even when your voice shakes. Be the light in a world full of darkness. Because you, chosen one, were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were set apart before time began, and now the world is waiting for you to rise. If this message spoke to you today, don't forget to like this video so more chosen ones can find it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a message meant for you. Let me know in the comments what part of this resonated with you the most. Let's keep this conversation going. You may not see it yet, but listen carefully. You have already won. The battle you've been fighting, the struggle that's been weighing you down, the obstacles that tried to break you, it's over. The shift has already happened, and what was once out of reach is now making its way to you. Whatever you did, it worked. I know you've been through seasons of hardship, moments where you questioned if all your effort, faith, and resilience even mattered. You prayed, you sacrificed, you kept pushing forward even when nothing seemed to change. But the truth is, something changed long before you could see it. There was a shift in the spiritual realm, a divine alignment set in motion that is now bringing everything together for your breakthrough. The world may have doubted you. People may have walked away, underestimating your potential. But what they didn't realize is that you were always destined for something greater. The trials weren't meant to destroy you, they were meant to shape you. And now, the very things that once stood in your way are being removed. The doors that once seemed locked are opening, not because you begged, but because you were always meant to walk through them. This is your confirmation. God has already written your victory. It's no longer a question of if, but when, and that time is now. You don't have to strive anymore. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You have already won. So before we go any further, take a deep breath. Feel it. Let that truth settle into your spirit. Everything is aligning. Everything is working for you. Let's dive deeper into this, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see your journey. What if I told you that you already won before you even saw the results? What if I told you that the shift happened long before the evidence showed up? The problem is, most people don't recognize their victory when it arrives because they're still looking for proof in the physical world, while the real work, the breakthrough, happened in the unseen. Think about everything you've endured, the battles you fought in silence, the nights when you doubted your own strength, the sacrifices no one noticed. Those were the moments that truly shaped your destiny. But the world didn't see it. They misjudged you. They thought you were failing. They assumed your efforts were wasted. But what they didn't realize is that God was preparing something bigger than their limited minds could comprehend. Imagine a seed buried deep in the ground. It looks like nothing is happening. The surface is quiet, undisturbed. People walk past, seeing only dirt, unaware of the life growing beneath. But underground, the seed is breaking apart, transforming, preparing for the moment when it will burst through the soil into the light. That was you. The struggle wasn't a sign of defeat, it was a sign of transformation. The pain you endured wasn't for nothing, it was refining you. Every rejection, every delay, Every moment of loneliness served a purpose. You weren't being buried. You were being planted. And now, the time has come for you to rise. Let's be real, there were moments when you almost gave up. When nothing seemed to move. When the weight of the journey felt unbearable. When you wondered if all your effort even mattered. But guess what? That was the test. The test of your patience. The test of your resilience. The test of your belief in something greater than what you could see. And you passed. You stayed the course. You didn't allow discouragement to define you. You didn't let the opinions of others stop you. You refused to quit when it would have been easier to walk away. And because of that, you've already won. See, people think success happens in the moment of recognition. When the money comes in, when the opportunities finally open up, when the world starts clapping for you. But real success happens in the moments no one sees. It happens when you choose to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. It happens when you wake up and commit to your vision, even when there's no proof that it's working. And now, the results of that unseen work are about to become undeniable. The world is about to see what God has been building in you all along. The people who doubted you, they're about to witness the impossible. The doors that once rejected you, they're about to swing open effortlessly. The opportunities that felt out of reach, they were always meant for you, waiting for the right version of you to step into them. You were never waiting on the breakthrough. The breakthrough was waiting on you. So let this sink in. Whatever you did, it worked. Your prayers, your faith, your consistency, it wasn't in vain. You have already won. And now, it's just a matter of stepping into what has always been yours. Most people think victory happens when they can see it, touch it, and experience it in the physical world. But the truth is, every breakthrough starts in the spirit before it ever materializes in the physical. That's why so many people miss their moment. They're waiting for proof instead of recognizing the shift that has already taken place. Chosen one, the moment you decided to rise above your limitations. You already won. The moment you refused to stay stuck in fear, self-doubt, or insecurity, the chains broke. It didn't matter that you couldn't see it yet. The shift had already happened. The universe had already rearranged itself to accommodate your next level. Think back to the hardest moments of your journey. When nothing seemed to move, when doors kept closing, when it felt like you were walking through fire with no way out. Those moments weren't just obstacles, they were the testing grounds. The fire wasn't sent to destroy you, it was sent to refine you. Just like gold is purified by fire, your trials purified your purpose. They burned away everything that wasn't meant to go with you to the next level. The reason you felt so much resistance is because your elevation required it. The people who walked away, they weren't meant to go where you're going. The setbacks, they weren't punishments, they were redirections. The delays, they weren't denials, they were divine timing at work. But here's the thing, you kept going. When others gave up, you stayed in the fight. When others surrendered to doubt, you held on to your faith. When everything in your life told you to quit, something inside of you refused, and that's why you've already won. Victory was sealed the moment you chose faith over fear. There is a spiritual law that cannot be broken, as within, so without. Everything that happens in the physical world is just a reflection of what has already happened in the spiritual. The moment you shifted your mindset, the external world had no choice but to follow. The reason things seemed to fall apart at first is because the old reality couldn't sustain your new identity. Have you noticed how certain things stopped making sense? The conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. The people you once surrounded yourself with no longer align with your energy. The things that used to bring you comfort now feel foreign. That's because you've elevated beyond them. When you started aligning with your purpose, the universe started removing everything that was no longer meant for you. That's why certain relationships fell apart. That's why some doors closed so suddenly. That's why you were forced into isolation. Not because you were being punished, but because you were being prepared. You had to let go of distractions so you could focus. You had to lose certain relationships so you could find your true soul family. You had to experience setbacks so you could be redirected toward the right path. And now, everything you've lost is about to be replaced with something greater. Have you noticed the signs? A deep sense of inner peace, even when things don't seem perfect. The feeling that something powerful is about to happen, even if you can't explain it. Unexpected opportunities, ideas, or connections showing up seemingly out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. The spirit world moved first, and now the physical world is catching up. The people who once overlooked you, they're suddenly paying attention. The opportunities that once seemed impossible, they're aligning effortlessly. The resources you thought you lacked, they're finding their way to you. Because when God says it's your time, nothing and no one can stop it. The breakthrough is already yours. Claim it. Chosen one, you are not waiting on your breakthrough is waiting on you to claim it. Whatever you did, it worked. Whatever you prayed for, it's already set in motion. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to question. This is the time to walk boldly into everything that is rightfully yours. You see, the enemy wanted you to believe you were losing. The distractions, the setbacks, the betrayals, it was all designed to make you doubt yourself. But what the enemy didn't realize is that every attack only made you stronger. Every challenge sharpened you. Every disappointment built your resilience. And now, you are unstoppable. You're no longer asking for permission to be great. You're no longer waiting for validation from those who never believed in you. You're no longer playing small to make others comfortable. Because the moment you chose faith over fear, the battle was over. The moment you chose to trust the unseen, the victory was sealed. And now, the results of that victory are about to unfold. Everything that was meant for you is making its way to you now. The financial breakthrough, the opportunities, the divine connections, it's already done. It was written before you were even born. The only thing left for you to do is walk in it. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. You've already won. Now, step into your victory. Chosen one, have you noticed how the energy around you is shifting? Have you felt that deep, unshakable knowing that something massive is about to happen? This isn't your imagination, this is spiritual alignment at work. Everything that once felt out of reach is now moving into place because you've finally stepped into alignment with your divine path. What is spiritual alignment? It's when your thoughts, actions, and beliefs are in complete harmony with your highest calling. It's when you stop fighting against the current and start flowing with divine timing. And when that happens, miracles unfold effortlessly. But here's the thing. The process of alignment is not easy. Before everything falls into place, everything must first fall apart. The relationships that no longer serve you will break away. The habits that kept you stagnant will be exposed. The illusions that once blinded you will be shattered. It might feel like chaos, but in reality, it's divine order. The old version of you is being stripped away to make room for the new. Think about the moments in your life when you experienced the most pain. The deepest betrayals, the hardest lessons, were they not the very things that led you to this moment? If those things hadn't happened, would you have awakened to your true power? Would you have found the strength, the resilience, the wisdom that now defines you? The fire you walked through was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to forge you. Everything that left was making room for what's meant to stay. Some of you have experienced losses that felt unbearable. You lost friendships, relationships, opportunities, even versions of yourself that you thought you needed. But what if I told you that everything that left was only making room for what was meant to stay? The job you didn't get. It wasn't aligned with your true calling. The person who betrayed you, they weren't equipped to walk with you into your destiny. The path that was blocked, it was never meant to lead you to your highest potential. Nothing is ever taken from you without purpose. The people, places, and things that exit your life do so because they've served their role in your story. Your spirit called for more, and the universe responded. This is why you're no longer drawn to the things that once entertained you. This is why conversations that used to excite you now feel shallow. This is why the old version of you feels like a stranger, because you've outgrown them. You are elevating, and as you rise, so must everything around you. The discomfort you feel is not a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that you are becoming. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be. You are stepping into the reality that was written for you before time began. You are finally walking in the authority that was destined for you. This is why your manifestations are happening faster. This is why your intuition is sharper. This is why you feel an unshakable sense of purpose, even when you can't see the full picture yet. Because deep down, you already know the breakthrough isn't coming, it's here. Step into your destiny. The time is now chosen one. The waiting period is over. The years of questioning, doubting, and wondering if you were truly meant for more, it was all leading up to this moment. You are no longer in a season of seeking, you are in a season of receiving. You are no longer knocking on doors, you are walking through them. You've done the work. You've passed the tests. You've proven to the universe that you are ready. Now, everything that is meant for you will unfold in divine timing. The resources, the connections, the opportunities, they are already making their way to you. Not because you begged for them, not because you struggled for them, but because they have always belonged to you. You don't need to chase what is already yours. You don't need to force what is already aligned. You don't need to prove yourself to those who were never meant to see your worth. You are walking in your divine inheritance. So stand tall, move forward with confidence. Know that what's ahead of you is far greater than anything behind you. The doors that are opening now will not close. The blessings that are flowing now will not be blocked. Because what God has for you, no one can take away. You've already won. Now, step into your victory. Chosen one, this is the season where you finally see the fruits of your labor. The struggles, the betrayals, the silent battles you endured, they were never in vain. Every tear you shed, every moment of doubt, every night you spent wondering when your time would come, it was all shaping you for this very moment. You didn't just survive, you transformed. And now, you are stepping into a new reality, one where the pain of the past no longer holds you, where the opinions of others no longer define you, and where you finally see yourself as the powerful being you were always meant to be. The world may have counted you out, but God never did. What was once delayed is now accelerating for years. It felt like you were walking in circles, praying, working, believing, but nothing seemed to change. Doors remained closed, opportunities slipped away, and the people around you couldn't understand why someone as gifted as you wasn't flourishing. But what they didn't know was that your journey was never about speed, it was about alignment. You weren't being denied. You were being prepared. You weren't being overlooked. You were being hidden. You weren't losing. You were gaining wisdom, strength, and divine timing. And now, the wait is over. The momentum is shifting. Everything that was delayed is now being accelerated. The breakthroughs that once felt distant are now manifesting before your very eyes. It's not by chance. It's not luck. It's divine order. You were chosen for this. You were set apart for a reason. And the season of waiting, of struggling, of wondering if it would ever happen for you, it has officially ended. Why your energy is different now? Have you noticed how people are reacting to you differently? How your presence carries a weight, a power that wasn't there before? That's because you have stepped into your spiritual authority. When you align with your divine purpose, your very essence changes. You walk with more confidence, speak with more wisdom, move with more certainty. You no longer tolerate what drains you. You no longer entertain what distracts you. People can feel it. Some will be drawn to you, sensing that you are different, that you carry something sacred. Others will be intimidated, confused by how you seem to glow without effort. But none of that matters anymore, because you are no longer seeking validation from the world. You understand now you were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to lead, to inspire, to walk a path that only the chosen can walk. This is just the beginning. You might be tempted to think that this is the peak, that you've finally arrived. But let me tell you something. Chosen one, this is only the beginning. The success, the recognition, the abundance sits not the end goal. It's simply a reflection of your inner transformation. The real victory is in the wisdom you've gained. The real treasure is in the resilience you've built. The real reward is knowing that you are finally, fully, unapologetically walking in your divine assignment. This is why nothing and no one can stop you now. Because this isn't about ego. It's about purpose. This isn't about proving yourself. It's about fulfilling the mission you were sent here for. You've already won. Chosen one. Now walk forward in power. Your story is just beginning. Chosen one. Take a deep breath and let this truth settle in. You've already won. Not because the world has recognized you, not because every battle has disappeared, but because you have stepped into your divine power. For so long, you fought battles in silence, doubted your worth, and questioned if your efforts were even making a difference. But now, you see the proof. The shift is real. The transformation is undeniable. You are no longer who you used to be. And that is the greatest victory of all. The journey was never about them, it was about you. The betrayals, the rejections, the misunderstandings, they weren't meant to break you. They were meant to shape you. Everything you went through was orchestrated to bring you to this moment. To strip away the false narratives, the self-doubt, and the need for external validation. You no longer need approval. You no longer seek permission. You walk with certainty now. You move with divine wisdom. You stand in the truth of who you are. And because of that, no one can stop what is already yours. Step boldly into what's next. The world is waiting for the fully awakened version of you. No more playing small. No more second guessing. No more shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You have everything you need. The time is now. Walk forward in faith. Step into your abundance. Embrace the power that was always within you. You've already won. Now go and claim what is yours. If this message spoke to you, let me know in the comments. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you're subscribed because this journey is just getting started. Chosen one, listen carefully. Your struggle has not gone unnoticed. Every sleepless night, every painful setback, every moment of doubt, it was all seen, all recorded, all accounted for. And now, the message is clear. You have already won. Your victory has been sealed by God Himself. For too long, you have fought battles in silence. You have carried burdens that no one else could see. You've been misunderstood, overlooked, and even betrayed by those who were supposed to stand with you. And yet, you endured. You pressed forward even when the weight was unbearable. But the truth is, you were never fighting alone. God has been walking with you through every storm, every hardship, every dark valley. And while you were busy trying to survive, God was already preparing your victory. The world told you that you had to earn it, that you had to prove yourself worthy, that you had to struggle your way to the top. But here's the truth. The price has already been paid in full. The debt is cleared. The battle is over. But why, then, do so many of God's chosen ones still live as if they are fighting for something they already possess? Why do you still feel stuck in survival mode when you have already been crowned victorious? It's because the enemy doesn't want you to wake up to who you truly are. The moment you realize that your success, your breakthrough, and your elevation have already been secured, the chains will break, fear will dissolve, struggle will end, and you will finally step into the fullness of your destiny. You were not created to live in lack. You were not meant to scrape and beg for what is already yours. You are a child of the Most High. You are chosen. You are anointed. And now, it's time for you to claim the victory that was written in your name before time began. In this message, I am going to reveal to you why the struggles you have faced were never about breaking you, they were about preparing you. I will show you why God's divine plan for you is already unfolding, why everything you lost is about to be restored, and why your suffering was never a punishment, it was a setup for something greater. So stay with me, open your heart, because by the end of this message, you will never see your life the same way again. The war is over. You've already won. And now, it's time to walk boldly into your divine inheritance. For years, you have carried the weight of the struggle on your shoulders. You have been told that success, peace, and blessings only come through hardship and sacrifice. You have fought battles you never should have fought, chasing after things that were already destined to be yours. And yet, no matter how hard you try, it always feels like something is missing, like you're still one step away from true victory. But what if I told you that the victory is already won, that the war is already over, and that you are simply walking in the footsteps of what has already been secured for you? The world has conditioned you to believe that if you're not constantly struggling, constantly grinding, constantly proving yourself, then you don't deserve the reward. But let me ask you this: when did God ever say that your worth was tied to your effort? When did He say that your blessings were something you had to chase? The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. The enemy knows that if he can keep you in a mindset of struggle, he can keep you from stepping into your divine inheritance. He knows that if you believe you always have to work harder, push further, and prove your worth, you will never take hold of the promises God has already given you. He wants you to think that you are still in the wilderness, when in reality, the promised land is already beneath your feet. Think about it: when a child of a king is born, do they have to beg for their inheritance? Do they have to fight to prove that they are worthy of their birthright? No, they are born into it. It is their identity. And as a chosen one, you were born into spiritual royalty. You were set apart before time began. You don't have to strive for favor. You don't have to hustle for blessings. You don't have to seek validation from a world that will never understand who you truly are. You only have to claim what has already been given to you. But here's the problem: the enemy doesn't want you to know that. He wants to keep you trapped in a cycle of frustration, exhaustion, and doubt. He wants to make you believe that if you're not constantly in battle, then you're doing something wrong. But that is a deception. God never called you to live in constant struggle. Yes, there are seasons of testing, seasons of refinement, and moments where faith is required. But God never meant for you to carry the weight of your destiny alone. He never meant for you to live in fear, uncertainty, or lack. Your inheritance was secured before you were even born. Your victory was already written in the heavens. And yet, how many of us continue to chase what is already ours? How many of us wake up each day believing that we still have to prove something to God? That we have to earn His love, His provision, His miracles? Let me tell you something today. You don't have to earn what has already been paid in full. It is finished. John 19:30. When Jesus spoke those words on the cross, He wasn't just talking about salvation, he was talking about the fulfillment of every promise. Every blessing, every breakthrough that was meant for you. It was already sealed in the heavens. The contract was signed, the debt was cleared, and the victory was secured. So why do you still live as if you are in bondage? Why do you still walk as if you are defeated? You are not a slave to struggle. You are not a servant begging for scraps. You are a child of God, an heir to the kingdom, and your Father has already declared that you are victorious. But the final step, the only thing left for you to do is to believe it. You must break free from the illusion that you are still fighting for your place. You are already seated in heavenly places. You are already called, already chosen, already blessed. But until you recognize that truth, you will continue to live as if you are still lost. So today, I am calling you to step into your birthright. Stop striving, stop doubting, stop living in the past as if your future isn't already secured. The moment you shift your mindset from lack to abundance, from struggle to surrender, from doubt to trust, everything will change. God is waiting for you to stop chasing and start receiving. He is waiting for you to stand up, take your rightful place, and walk in the victory that has already been won for you. The doors that seemed locked will suddenly open. The blessings that felt delayed will pour into your life, and you will finally understand you were never meant to struggle for what was always yours. How many times have you felt like you weren't doing enough? Like no matter how much you pray, work, or strive, it's still not enough to get ahead. Maybe you've been carrying the weight of your past, feeling like you still need to make up for old mistakes. Maybe you've been conditioned to believe that blessings are only for those who earn them. But let me tell you this, that is a lie. You see, the enemy wants you to believe that you still have a debt to pay, that you still have to prove your worth to God. But the truth is, your debt was paid in full long before you ever took your first breath. He canceled the record of the charges against us and took it away by nailing it to the cross. Colossians 2:14, when Jesus said, "It is finished," he meant it. Not halfway done, not partially paid, completely finished. The spiritual price for your breakthrough, your healing, your financial provision, your destiny, it was all settled in full. The chains of lack and struggle were broken the moment he declared victory. But here's where many of us get stuck. We keep acting like we still owe something. Think about it like this. Imagine you were drowning in debt, struggling to make ends meet, and someone out of pure love came and paid off every single cent you owed. No conditions, no strings attached, but instead of accepting the gift, you kept living as if you were still in debt. You kept stressing over bills that no longer existed. You kept holding yourself back from opportunities because you believed you were still financially stuck. That's exactly how many chosen ones live their lives. You've been set free, but you're still living like a prisoner. You've been given victory, but you're still walking as if you're in battle. Why? Because the world has trained you to believe that nothing comes without struggle. The enemy doesn't want you to realize that you can walk in power right now, that you don't have to wait for one day to experience the fullness of God's provision. He wants to keep you in survival mode, always chasing, always seeking, never realizing that you are already standing on holy ground. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. Psalm 23:1. Not I will lack nothing someday. Not if I work hard enough. I won't lack anything. No, you lack nothing right now. But the key is, you have to believe it and start living accordingly. Look around at your life. What have you been delaying because you think you're not ready? What have you been postponing because you believe you still need to earn your breakthrough? What if I told you that the only thing standing between you and your next level is your mindset? Your finances, already secured. Your purpose, already written. Your destiny, already sealed. But if you keep operating from a place of fear, lack, and self-doubt, you will never step into the abundance that has already been assigned to you. You must renew your mind and let go of the false belief that you are still paying a price that has already been paid. This is why the enemy works so hard to keep chosen ones distracted, confused, and uncertain. He knows that the moment you wake up and realize that you've already won, his control over you is broken forever. He will try to make you feel unworthy. He will try to remind you of your past failures. He will try to convince you that you have to struggle a little longer. But hear me when I say this, the price has already been paid. The time of waiting is over. Right now, you have a choice. You can either continue living as if you still owe something, or you can step into the divine truth that everything you need is already yours. God is not waiting for you to prove yourself, He is waiting for you to believe. Because the moment you shift your perspective, the blessings that have been held back will come rushing in. The doors that seemed impossible to open will swing wide, and you will finally walk in the fullness of the inheritance that was always meant for you. You are not a servant trying to earn favor. You are a child of God, stepping into what has already been given. So now that you understand the price has already been paid, the real question is, why aren't you living in your inheritance? Many chosen ones are still stuck in survival mode because they've been conditioned to believe that blessings must be earned through endless struggle. But let me tell you this, your inheritance is not something you have to fight for. It is something you must step into. Think about a prince or princess born into royalty. The moment they are born, they are already heirs to the throne. They don't have to beg for their position. They don't have to prove themselves worthy. Their birthright has already secured their future. But imagine if that prince or princess refused to claim their throne, instead choosing to live as a commoner, struggling day after day because they didn't believe they were truly royalty. That's exactly what many chosen ones are doing right now. God has already declared you victorious, but if you don't believe it, if you don't claim it, if you don't walk in the authority given to you, then you will continue to live beneath your true calling. Do not be afraid, little flock, for your Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom. Luke 12:32. Not will give you, not might give you if you work hard enough, has given you. So why are so many of God's chosen ones still struggling financially, emotionally, and spiritually? Because the enemy has convinced them to stay in a mindset of lack rather than step into a mindset of abundance. Breaking free from the scarcity mindset, the biggest weapon the enemy uses against chosen ones is the lie of scarcity. He wants you to believe there isn't enough for you. Your blessings are far away. You have to fight and struggle just to survive. You will always be behind. But let me tell you, this scarcity is an illusion. The moment you shift your mindset, the moment you begin to operate in faith instead of fear, doors will open that you never imagined. Look at the story of the Israelites in the wilderness. God had already promised them the land flowing with milk and honey. Yet many of them doubted and complained. Instead of walking into their inheritance, they wandered in the desert for 40 years, not because God was holding back, but because they refused to believe. Are you still wandering in your own wilderness? How many opportunities have passed you by because you doubted yourself? How many times has God given you the vision, but you hesitated because you didn't feel ready? How long will you allow fear to keep you from your promised land? You are already wealthy, but you must walk in it. Wealth is not just money, it's a state of being. A wealthy person walks differently. They think differently. They expect abundance, and because of that, they attract it. But a person with a poverty mindset will always repel blessings, even when God is trying to give them. It's time to shift from a survival mentality to a kingdom mentality. Stop speaking doubt over your future. Stop believing that success is only for other people. Stop playing small because you're afraid of stepping into your true calling. God has already written your victory. The only thing left for you to do is walk in it. Your faith activates your breakthrough. Your blessings are waiting for you. But they require faith to be unlocked. According to your faith, let it be done to you. Matthew 9:29. This is why so many chosen ones feel stuck. They are waiting for proof before they believe. But that's not how faith works. Faith is stepping forward before you see the evidence. Faith is claiming your breakthrough before it appears. Faith is believing the door will open before you even knock. If you keep waiting for everything to be perfect before you take action, you will stay exactly where you are. God is saying, move and I will provide. Step forward and the way will be made clear. You are not meant to stay stuck. You are not meant to struggle forever. You are destined for greatness. But greatness requires boldness. Are you ready to claim what's already yours? Then it's time to take action. Your inheritance is waiting. Now that you understand your inheritance is already secured, the next step is to fully embody the person God created you to be. This is where many chosen ones struggle, not because they lack faith, but because they hesitate to step into their true power. It's one thing to know that God has already paid the price for your breakthrough. It's another thing to walk boldly in that truth every single day. Many chosen ones hold themselves back because they are afraid of outgrowing their environment. They worry about what others will think. They fear being misunderstood, losing friendships, or stepping into the unknown. But you cannot live in divine abundance while still clinging to the old version of yourself. No one puts new wine into old wineskins. Mark 2:22. If you want to receive new blessings, you must become the person who is ready to receive them. The shift from waiting to walking. Too many chosen ones are still waiting for something to happen. They pray for a breakthrough but hesitate when opportunities arise. They ask God for increase, but shrink back when responsibility comes with it. But true abundance requires you to walk in it before you fully see it. You must speak as if you are already victorious. You must act as if you are already successful. You must move as if every door is already open for you. God is not asking you to have everything figured out. He is asking you to trust Him and take the first step. Think about Peter walking on water. The moment he stepped out of the boat, he was defying everything the natural world said was possible. But the second he let fear creep in, he started sinking. The same applies to you. If you keep doubting yourself, if you keep questioning whether you are worthy of your blessings, you will always struggle. But the moment you trust, the moment you step forward with confidence, the supernatural begins to work in your favor. Letting go of the fear of success, one of the biggest things keeping chosen ones from stepping into divine abundance is the fear of success. Yes, you heard that right. It's not just failure that people fear, it's the responsibility, the visibility, and the expectations that come with success. When God elevates you, things will change. You will no longer fit into the spaces you once did. People will start looking to you as a leader. Some will celebrate you, but others will try to pull you back into the old version of yourself. Are you ready for that? The question isn't whether God wants to bless you, the question is whether you are truly ready to receive it. Are you ready to handle the weight of your calling? Are you ready to lose people who can't handle your growth? Are you ready to break free from the comfort of mediocrity? Because the moment you say yes, things will start shifting fast. Your abundance will be a testimony, chosen ones. Your success is not just for you. Your breakthrough is meant to be a testimony to others. There are people watching you right now who don't even realize what God is about to do in your life. They have doubted you, underestimated you, and even spoken against you. But when they see what God does for you, they will have no choice but to believe. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Psalm 23:5. God is not just going to bless you, He is going to do it publicly. Your story will inspire others to step into their own calling. Your transformation will remind people that God is still working miracles. Your testimony will open doors for others who are still trapped in fear and doubt. So stop questioning whether you are ready. Stop waiting for permission. You have already been chosen. Your victory has already been won. It's time to walk in it. Chosen ones, this is your confirmation. The struggles, the tests, the setbacks, they were never meant to break you. They were designed to prepare you. Every obstacle you've faced, every tear you've shed, and every battle you've fought has led you to this moment. You don't have to keep waiting for a breakthrough. It has already been given to you. God has already paid the price. Your success, your abundance, your divine purpose, it's already yours. But now, the choice is in your hands. Will you step boldly into the life God has prepared for you? Or will you allow fear, doubt, and the opinions of others to hold you back? This is your time to rise. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were set apart for something greater. The world may not have recognized you yet, but heaven already has. You are a child of God, anointed, appointed, and chosen for such a time as this. So walk in faith, speak with authority, move as if every door has already been opened, because in the spiritual realm, it has. Your testimony is being written, and soon, everyone who doubted you will have no choice but to see the undeniable power of God working in your life. Your victory is already won. Now, go claim it.